Oh, yeah. You know it. All right. Jake Johnson in the house. Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show on a Friday night. It's Jake Johnson, Untethered Live. How you doing? Nice night for a chill stream. It's all hot and muggy outside. It's been raining off and on. Can't beat it. Can't complain. Wouldn't get anywhere if it did. How's it going? How's your world treating you? How's your world treating you out there? Pardon me. Throat wants to close up on me. Amanda says, hi, Untethered Live family. Good to see you all. Happy Friday. I hope everyone is doing good and staying as cool as possible. Hi, Jake. How are you tonight? As cool as possible. That's how I am tonight. Cool as possible. By the way, I would like to ask, has anyone else noticed their names changing without them having done so? Seems to be a thing happening in YouTube. I'm not exactly sure what or why, but it happened. So check it out. If your name, if you renamed yourself and your name is reverted back to the old, let me know. Rich S, I believe that's Rich S, says, you're late. I'm not late. I'm right on time. I own the show. It starts whenever I hit the play button. I'll take it, though. How you doing, Rich? Nice to see you. Amanda says, here's your gold star for being first in chat. Is that your first one? You can put that sucker up on your mantelpiece and tell your grandkids how you climbed over liberal corpses all the way up to the mountain of free speech and grabbed that star away from opposing forces, and now you are the proud owner of it, and you can tell them anything you want to, really, but... One second. Don't blow your nose on camera, Jake. It's unprofessional. And sometimes you got to do it. Rich says, and I'm on time for once. You are on time? How are you, sir? Rich says, me too. You too what? Hashtag? Me too? You too what? Oh, your name? Amanda says, YouTube has changed their allowed characters. Really? I wonder why. It won't let you have emojis. Our emojis are gone? Nope, they're still here. My emoji's still here anyway. That's odd. You mean you can't have emojis in your name? I got it. DJ John. Or, Nugget. How you doing, buddy? Nice to see you. John says, hey, it's doing it on other channels today. Okay, so it's not just me. That's good. Nope, I received no warning, no update, no information that said this was going to happen. Just somebody decided to make some changes. I have no control over it. I apologize if it makes you mad. I didn't do it. And John says, hello, everyone. Hello, John. Heart back at you. Amanda says it won't let you have emojis, and hi, Nugget. And Jake says, Jake. And Amanda says, in your name, like mine, with the band hammers. Yeah, they took that away, huh? I'm sorry. But you still have a band hammer. And I'm getting the yellow error message saying I'm not sending out enough signal again. I swear to God. This internet thing is going to aggravate me to pieces. Soph Allen says, what's up, everybody? It's your girl, Sophie, here. How are you guys? Coming at you in Australia. Nice to see you, Soph. It sounds like you're in a good mood tonight. That's fantastic. Glad to hear it. Rich says, it is kind of annoying with the thing. I got you. Yeah. I think they're trying to make that a thing so that you can just anybody and go right to their channel or something. I'm not sure why they do that. YouTube weirdos. Amanda says, and we have the @ thing at the beginning of the names now. Well, they've been that way for a while as far as how you talk to somebody, but like if I wanted to send you a message, I would put @ in your name or start typing your name and it'll pop up. And that way when I message you, it'll highlight on the screen for you. Amanda says, I'm mad they messed up my name. Smiley face with big teeth. So says, it's morning time in Australia. I'm making hash browns for breakfast this morning, and I'm just chilling in bed and watching you live. That's awesome. I love to be early morning in Australia, just in bed with a young lady eating hash browns. That's fantastic. I appreciate the hash browns. I'm going to eat some cookies later on tonight, if you know what I'm saying. Just chocolate chip cookies. I'm going to, hang on a second, I'm going to see if I can lower down my bit rate a little. I don't know if this will affect the stream or not, but I'm going to look. I'm going to go down to 2,000 kbp for a second. See how this does. All right, I'm still getting the error message, so everybody let me know if anything changes. I shouldn't be getting the error message. The internet should be working fine. We're paying enough for it. I don't understand why it's so hard. They know I run a podcast. They know the only reason I'm paying for internet is so that I can run a podcast. And they insist on giving me fast download speeds, which is fine if you're downloading movies, and no upload speed. I need it to be more equal. Like, give me less download and more upload so that I can broadcast. I'm pushing out video, not bringing it in. I don't understand why this is a thing in the year of our Lord 2025. Amanda says, well, anyway. John says, it makes a change. Someone's ahead of me in time. Right on. I see you still got your J tags, though. That's all that's important as far as your names go. If they remove that, we got a problem. I don't want to open the studio. I know I'm going to regret this. I'm going to click the button, though. Oh, Amanda's got her membership for 15 months. It says, it's been fun and great to be on here with you all. Thank you, Jake. Much love, heart, and kissy faces, and heart exclamation points. Well, I love you, too, and I thank you so much for everything. And you do a great job as our chief moderator. That's fantastic. And now it says I got an excellent signal, so I'm just going to close that and leave it at that. Amanda says, Amanda Banhammer, just become a sponsor. Amanda didn't say that. Stream Elements did. Rich S says, I heard lots of people are upsetty spaghetti about going from usernames to handles. That's what it is called. Yeah, well, you know. YouTube does whatever the hell they want to do, and it doesn't really matter what we think anyway, so let them do it. As long as we can get out, that's all that matters. John says, I ain't got my J-tag. Yeah, you do. I'm looking at it. It's right there at the end of your name. See it? J-tag. I can see it. It says it right there, John, with a circle J, which stands for circle jerk. Me. Amanda says, yeah, you do, Nugget. You got your J-tag. And yes, Rich, I'm pissed. No warning or nothing. No, they didn't even tell me, and I run the show. Like, I have an account. I have a person, a handler, whatever you call it, an agent, who I can go to if I have problems. But you'd think that they would, like, shoot me an email or something. Hey, we're going to change everything. Nothing. I have no idea what's going on. Rich says, what is the working title today, Jake? It will be added posthumously. See, it says, insert working title here, post-broadcast. That's after the show, which means, that's a fancy way of saying, I couldn't think of anything. Whatever you want it to be. Change it right now. You come up with a title and I'll put it in there. Soph says, how are you feeling, guys? Are you doing okay? Oh, yeah, fantastic. How are you feeling? Are you doing okay? How's Australia? Have you been staying away from those big-ass spiders that try to kill you over there? John says it's only on some that are doing it. Really? Well, I wonder what the criteria is. It's kind of making me wonder now why they did it. Is it a beneficial thing? I mean, does it make it easier to connect with people or jump from stream to stream? Or, I mean, what's the point in doing it? I don't understand. I was perfectly fine being able to see people's names. They just got to make everything complicated, I guess. I love my neon sign, by the way. Thank you to the designer. That would be Amanda Banhammer. Trash Panda Banhammer. Trash Panda Amanda Banhammer. Bama. Oh, so says Australia is going really well, but it's very cold. In Australia? How is it cold in Australia? Ain't Australia like notorious for being hot and sticky? Anyway, I got something to show you guys. I'll show it later, but I'm excited. So I showed you this, what was it, Monday or Wednesday when I got it? There's a heap of wood, a hunk of trash that somebody threw away, and I have transformed it into look at that. Pow. This is my latest build. I just finished it. It's fantastic. Plays like a dream. You can't hear it though, because I don't have my amp set up. But this is a Washburn WR150. It is student model-ish. It's about $199 new in the store. There's different prices. They go up and down, but the base price is about $199. It is their cheaper end. This is a Pal Ferro fretboard, or Indian Laurel rather, and a basswood body. It's got, though, Grover tuners on the back. These are about $180 for a set of those. So that in itself is worth the deal. Now, these were given to me. I got 2 guitars and a box full of hardware that was given to me. So just these, if I just took these off and sold them on eBay, I'd make a killing. But I like having them, and they'll be on this guitar until one of my other ones need them, and then they'll switch over. It's like equity having these things. And this is one Alnico 5 pickup with 2 ceramic pickups that were already in the guitar. This is mine. I put it in there. And I put a new bridge on it. This is from a Fender Stratocaster type guitar. And then it's got the cheap electronics in it. I don't have any good electronics. I don't know if you can see the block inside there. It's one of the thin blocks, but it does the job. It gets it done. It does have a recessed heel joint for easy access, but it was made in China, so there's that. But it's a beautiful color. You can't really see it on the screen because of my lighting, but it is a sparkle metallic blue. And if you're looking at it, it looks kind of turquoise in the light. A dark, deep turquoise, but it's got metal flake sparkle. It's quite nice. What do you think? A little fret leveling and a neck setup, and she's ready to go. That one is for sale if anybody wants it. Just let me know. I'll give you a good price on it. It's a inexpensive guitar, but it has been Jakeified, so it's worth what I'm going to ask for it. John says, I think YouTube needs to sort their shit out anyway. They need to do something about it. They are back and forth. You can't really... Look, when the Democrats are in office, they'll go back and posthumously delete videos that say things they don't like or disagree with. They did that to me when Biden was in office. They went back 5 years and deleted videos that nobody had even seen in 4 years. You know, stuff that was only seen when I made it, and then nobody's seen it since. And because of one line or one word or something there they disagreed with. So they'll do that kind of thing. You got to watch them. You got to be careful. So basically what I'm trying to say is I don't know what I'm not allowed to say because it'll change. And when it changes, they'll retroactively affect the channel based on it. And when I ask them about it, they're like, yeah, that's just the way it is. There's nothing we can do. The higher-ups didn't like it, so you got that video got deleted. Good thing I have 11 other platforms and copies of all the videos that I make. So they didn't get me. They just got me here, but you could go over to Rumble and see it. Or Spotify or Amazon or Google or wherever the hell else they are. That's the beautiful thing about diversifying. Facebook. Amanda says, you're welcome, Jake. Yes, thank you for the logo. I got sidetracked. The logo. Thank you. That's my neon sign, baby. And I love it. And my brick wall, too. Fantastic. That's better than the rainy window, I think. And that color blue makes my eyes dance. I didn't even know I liked the color blue, but it works for me. And Soph says, it is winter. That's why it's cold. Really? That's amazing. It's summertime here and hot, 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 hot. Fab Daddy says, happy Friday. Hey, what's up, Fab? He says, are you all okay or do I need to worry? Sure, worry. Why would you need to worry? Do you feel like worrying? Have you heard things? Do we look not okay? Worry. I like worrying. Amanda says, hi, Fab. Are you okay? Do we need to worry about you? DJ John says, I got my first guitar today. Cheap acoustic. I'm going to start learning. Excellent, John. Hey, I'll help you out. Anything you want to know, you let me know. I'll send you a video that'll explain the whole thing to you. What kind of guitar did you get? You're speaking my language now, buddy. I can't believe you got one today. That's fantastic. Amanda says, nice nugget. What kind? Right. What kind of guitar is it? And Fab Daddy says, yay, John. John says, I got it from Amazon. All right. But hey, look, they got some decent deals on Amazon for beginners. Good acoustics and good electrics too. They got some crap too, but if you got a decent acoustic guitar, is that what you said it was? Yep. Acoustic, cheap acoustic. If you got a decent, well-made acoustic, cheap one, it'll last you a long time, well into your learning. 10 years anyway. If you reach your goal and you actually get to where you're playing, I'll send you a guitar. I'll take care of you. I love it when my people start learning how to play music. And Rich says, how about we call the title today, what are we excited over or pissed about today? All right. I can't change it right now because I'm in the middle of a stream, but as soon as it's over, I'll change it to that. I don't think I can. Yeah, I'm going to leave it alone. I'll change it as soon as we're done. So the working title, I'll pin it in the chat. There we go. There it is. Pinned to the top of the chat. What are we pissed about today? By Rich S. Amanda says, nice nugget. And Amanda says, right, Rich? Christine Marshall says, hi, y'all. A lot going on. Yeah, there's a lot going on. Apparently, YouTube has decided to change everybody's name to a handle and revert them back to their original titles. So, no longer does your name say what you wanted it to. So Fallon says, hey, Nugget, what's up? And Fab Daddy says, I will gladly pay you Tuesday for a guitar on Friday. Well, all right. If you'll pay me Tuesday, I'll send it to you and it'll get there by Friday. Sounds good to me. Amanda says, hi, Christine. I've been thinking about that a lot. I'm a luthier. I build guitars and I repair guitars and all that stuff. Why don't I have a line of guitars? Why am I not selling guitars? Probably because I wouldn't make any money because there's 10,000 other people doing it and they can do it cheaper than I can. That's probably why. But if anybody likes what I do and they want a Jake guitar that plays the way that I play it, you can get one. Amanda says, hi, Christine. And Rich says, who the heck is Nugget, by the way? That would be John. John is Nugget. It's a lovey nickname that we gave him a couple weeks ago. Or he gave himself. We just ran with it. Something like that. Fab Daddy said Nugget is a dude. He's a dude disguised as a dude pretending to be another dude. Dude. John says, I talked to my boss yesterday and he said I can go back to work, but only in the office. Well, at least he's not firing you. At least you can go make some money. That's awesome. Fantastic. So get back to the guitar. What's the name, brand, and how much did you give for it? I'm not trying to pry. I'm just trying to judge what you have. Christine says, Ted Nugent went off on the Michigan DNR meeting. It sounds like Ted Nugent. He does that. I'm glad he's out there doing what he does. Amanda says, well, that's better than nothing, Nugget, right? Yep. It's better to have kind of a job than no job. Believe that. I have 3 kind of a jobs and no actual job. Fab Daddy says, good to see you, Amanda and Jake. It's good to see you too, Fab. How you doing, buddy? Nice to be peaceful and lovey. Amanda says, Ted is retarded. No, he's not. He's smart. He's a very smart guy and a hell of a guitar player. He reminds me a lot of me, only I don't talk as much as he does. He's a very out there, in your face kind of guy. He is the Motor City Madman for sure. Rich S says, yep, I am not calling John that. You don't have to. We love him. Christine Marshall says, hey, Amanda, heart, Jake's better half. Definitely. Fab Daddy says, I am a complete mess of a man. I clean up well, though. Yep, it doesn't matter what kind of man you are. The only thing that matters, Fab Daddy, is what you present to other people. If you present a well-manicured, upright, standard man, 4-wheel drive, leather upholstery, the whole 9 yards, you'll be doing fine. It doesn't matter if you fall apart in the back by yourself. That's how you're supposed to do it. Shed that 1 tear a year, whether you need it or not, and then buckle your seatbelt and get back after it. I think that metaphor made sense. Soph says, I went to the disco last night with my boyfriend, Daniel, and we danced the night away. Nice. Do they still have discos in Australia? That went out in the 70s here. Amanda says, LOL. Well, don't. It's a ladies' thing anyway. Right on. You ain't got to call him Nugget. The women call him Nugget. That's plenty enough. And he is their Nugget, and they love him. We should all aspire to be a mascot. Rich S says, if you say so. She did. Fab Daddy says, nice, Soph. And Rich says, it seems emasculating in my humble opinion. Why would you think that's emasculating? John probably stomped both our asses. Calling him Nugget is not emasculating. That's not the same as calling him Little Weenie Dude. What are you talking about? Nugget is a term of endearment, and it refers to a piece of chicken. Oh, I see how you say it. Yeah, because calling somebody chicken. No, we're not calling him a chicken. John says, wins 40-inch. Right on. Wins. I don't think I've heard of a wins. I'll look it up, though. Let's see what we got. All right. So you got like a classical guitar? It's got a wide neck on it? And plastic strings or gut strings? Or is it a regular standard acoustic guitar with metal strings? What came up was a... oh, I see. They got some over here. Oh, I got it. Yeah. All right. The Winds 40-inch for $211. $211 seems excessive. It's a pretty guitar, though. Does yours have a graphic on it? Like a little swirly graphic? Like smoke? Comes with a strap and a string winder and a tuner and a couple of picks and an Allen key. Fab Daddy says, I'm happy I had a meal and a roof over my head. Absolutely. Did you not have those things? You bought it for 80 pounds. That's about $100, 99 bucks American. That's not bad. This one that I'm looking at is a black acoustic with a wispy smoke on it. It's listed for $211 on Amazon. I think you could do better than that. They got one right beside it for $42. So, you know, it's kind of all over the place in price. But it doesn't look like a terrible guitar. It looks solid. I think you did a good job. I'm proud of you. Now, practice. There is no magic. There is no mystery. All you have to do is put your hands on it. The longer your hands are on it, the closer you get to being able to be good at it. It's going to take 10,000 hours to qualify as good at it. You might not even want to get that far ahead. You might just want to be okay at it, which you can do in no time. But learn your 7 basic chords. You should get a card or something that came with the guitar that has the chords listed on it or something like that. If you don't have one, I'll send you one. Learn those 7 chords and just listen and experiment and just touch it. That's all. Just touch it. Fab Daddy says, I am pissed that I need to worry about you. Why do you need to worry about me, Fab Daddy? My worry is brought by love. Well, what are you talking about? Why would you need to worry about me? I'm a grown man. I've been pulling up my britches for a long time without anybody worrying about me. Why would you feel like you need to worry about me all of a sudden? Soph says, I'm sad that my mom has a very sore chest. That when I'm pissed about my mom having a sore chest and she's not getting any better. Well, yeah, cancer will do that for you, Soph. It's not good. Fab Daddy says, if I got a Jake guitar, I would still play it like a Fab Daddy. True, but you would do it so much smoother because I know how to set up a guitar perfectly. I would definitely change it for sure. I don't know if it would change the way you play. It won't. But it'll definitely change the way it feels when you play. Get ready for more hot weather, says Fab Daddy. Oh, yeah, summertime. Trump derangement syndrome. Ted Nugent has a case of Trump derangement syndrome. I thought Ted Nugent was on Trump's side. I haven't heard him speak today, though, so I guess it could have changed. But Ted's a Republican. He must be upset about the war thing. Tonight's not political night, though, so let's not get too deep into it. Let's save that for tomorrow night. Soph says, yep, they do have discos in Australia. One in suburbs called Bayswater. Nice. Bayswater disco. I guess you got to have something to do. I want to go over to Australia and play music because I think you guys would really dig what I do over there. I might be like famous in Australia. I've heard some of the guys that play music over there, and it's very fun party type music. Very upbeat Irish style, happy music. A little bit punk rocky. I play Southern rock, but it's rock, so I think they'd get into it. John says, my boss said the health and safety officer said I have to work in the office until I get the all clear from my doctor. Got it. Amanda says, he likes chicken nuggets. That's why we call him Nugget. Right on. Fab Daddy says, Little Wiener Dude is my nickname. And John says, it's only wire metal. Gotcha. So it's not the wide neck nylon string. I would prefer you'd learn to play on a metal string guitar, but because the nylon string is a little easier to press and get the notes right, but it's got a real wide neck, and if your hands get accustomed to that, it's going to be very difficult for you to transition to a small neck guitar with metal strings. I'd rather you start there and toughen up your fingers. For 2 weeks, it's going to suck. Your fingers are going to hurt if you play it often, and then, you got to build those calluses up. But once they get built up, they'll stay built up playing an acoustic guitar, and it won't hurt anymore after that. But the first couple of weeks is going to be rough on them fingers. You just got to suffer through that part. Trust me, it's worth it. Just keep pushing. That's all. You ain't even got to achieve anything. Just keep pushing. Don't worry about getting better in 2 weeks. Just worry about getting to where you can play without it hurting. That's all. The rest will come, I promise. Amanda says, well, take what you can get, Nugget. Something to keep you busy and move anyway. And keep you moving anyway. Yeah, at least you're not sitting there mildewing. That's how you get sicker and sicker and sicker, just sitting there. You got to stay busy, have a purpose. That'll keep your mind off of everything. Amanda says, that sounds like a personal problem, Fab Daddy. The little wiener dude. Nah, he's proud of it. That's good. And John says, yes. Christine says, that's so sad to hear about Ted Nugent having TDS. I totally missed that. I did too. I thought he was on Trump's side. But Tucker Carlson is going against Trump now, so there might be something going on. One of those, reverse yourself in the media kind of things. I'm not sure what that's all about. Because, he was campaigning with him, Tucker was. And now he's up totally against him. Maybe he's just really against war. Which I am too. But I understand why Trump did what he did. Which, by the way, not unlike what he did in his first term when he dropped a bunch of bombs on an airport that was empty, blew up a parking lot. He got the message across, and you haven't heard anything else out of Venezuela. So, I think that's exactly what he's doing now. I don't think he intended to start a war, and I think his message was received. We'll see. Amanda says, and your fingers are going to hurt like hell at first. Keep it up, though. I said that. And John says, the reason I'm called Nugget is I eat so many chicken nuggets. Right on. Yeah, it's not emasculating at all. Yep. I tell my wife, I say, we're like Beauty and the Beast, baby. But if anybody else calls you Beast, you let me know and I'll rip their lungs out. Fab Daddy says, my guitar experience is play for yourself, rock out, and enjoy. Well, that's what everyone's guitar experience is. What are you trying to say? Are you trying to tell him not to listen to me because I offered assistance? Because that's what that sounds like. Soph says, John, guess what I am? A big chicken nugget fan as well. I think everybody likes chicken nuggets. And John says, prayer, Soph. That's right. And so, where'd it go? Sorry, my chat's jumping around. Soph says, thank you, John. I appreciate your prayers. And Soph says, how are you feeling today, John? And Rich says, hey, can we try a hypothetical scenario? Only if everyone agrees to play. Let's hear it. I'll tell you if we can try it or not. John says, feeling okay. I don't do self-pity. That's not me. Right on. That's the best way to be, too. Gotta just grin and bear it, whatever life throws at you. It takes a lot of time to stop and whine about everything. Just keep moving. That's all you gotta do. And Fab Daddy says, Trump is not a savior. Did somebody say Trump was the savior? Are you having flashbacks, Fab Daddy? You calm your little ass down, sir. Who said Trump was a savior? And what are you responding to exactly? Aaron, what's up, my brother? Nice to see you. How you doing today? Soph says, I had thyroid issues last year, John. It was so bad. Amanda says, hello, Aaron. And Aaron says, hey, why is my name different? I don't know. YouTube changed some stuff. I didn't get any kind of warning. We were talking about that earlier. Apparently, they decided to give everybody handles instead of nicknames. And didn't bother to tell anybody they were gonna. I don't know why they do things like that. John says, bless you, Soph. I'm glad you got better, heart. And Soph says, I have a ukulele. Nice. I do too. I got one of the little ones. I want one of the big concert ones. Full. I don't know if it's full size, but there's like 4 different size ukuleles. The one I want's the big one, and they have a very unique sound, and they're not that expensive, so that's kind of cool. Fab Daddy says you changed it. I changed what? What are we talking about? I changed it. I don't know what I changed. Aaron says, nope. Amanda says, cause YouTube can't leave shit alone. Aaron, they messed up mine too. Aaron says, I'll change it back. I don't know if you can. I think you got to have the little @ sign before your name to start with now. And Amanda says, it won't let you because you have to have special characters. It won't let you have special characters anymore. Why, I don't know. I'm not sure, but I think it has something to do with your name being synonymous with your channel's name. And I think it has something to do with ease of transitioning from one person to a channel. Like you type youtube.com @ Aaron, whatever, and it'll take you to his channel. I think that's how that's supposed to work in theory. And if you're on a phone, you just type in @ Aaron while you're on YouTube, and it should take you right to it. Or @ Jake, or @ UntetheredLive, or whatever it is. Don't know why they want to do it that way. It seems to work fine the old way. Fab Daddy says a ukulele is a guitar capoed to the 5th fret if you play the bottom 4 strings. Well, not exactly. That's kind of true, but it's also upside down. You got to remember that. A ukulele is upside down and backwards from a guitar. So it's bottom 4 backwards. So you're playing inverted. So if you were playing a C chord like this, you'd have to play it like that on a ukulele. That makes sense? Or whatever those 4 strings correspond to. I think there's only 2 notes on a C chord. It's been a while since I played, but it's a little different. But it is tuned up to G or C or something like that. So it is like capo on the guitar. Aaron says, good, Jake. How are you? I'm fantastic, Aaron. I got a nice hot cup of coffee here, and I'm ready for a Friday night. And I finished another guitar build. I'll show it off again. Here it is. This is a Washburn WR150. I love how the fret markers are at the top here. It's got a very fast, thin profile neck, like an Ibanez, kind of almost. And it's got a headstock like a Sir. I like that shape. I'm not crazy about the logo, though. I don't like that. It looks a little cheap. If it was big, it would look better. I just finished that build last night and got the soldering done just before I went to sleep last night. And it's a good player. John H. says, hi, Aaron. Thumbs up. Aaron says, Big John. Big Bad John. Yo. And Soph says, hang on, I got to find it. So says, the first song I ever played on my ukulele was You Are My Sunshine, My Only Sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my Bengay away. Christine Marshall says, Trump signed a peace agreement with Rwanda and the Congo. 3 decades of war. Trump had the African representative talk, and he said we need the U.S. to neutralize the rebels and security for prosperity. Yeah. Well, they've been going at it for a while over there in Africa. Somebody needs to do something about that part of the world. It's kind of like the bad neighborhood of the world, you know. A lot of gunfire and random screams and noises going on over there across the tracks. We gotta clean that place up. Linda Davis says, happy Friday, all. Hey, Linda, how are you, sweetheart? Sweet love, good to see you. Come on in, take your shoes off. It's gonna be good. Christine says, it's a win-win type of situation. The third win I'm referencing is the rare earth minerals, right? The ones that we were supposed to be getting from the Ukraine, which they screwed that up by not taking the deal that Trump put on the table to just make themselves look bad. Yep, that would have worked out well if Ukraine would have taken that deal. That means that war would have stopped, and then we would have got all the rare earth minerals out of Ukraine, and they would have got a lot of money, and they would have got U.S. military support because we'd want to protect our investment. However, Zelensky was too stupid to see the writing on the wall and kept going with his bullshit, and they're still at war as a result. I don't know what has happened this week because I hadn't really been watching the news, but it ain't real good over there. Amanda says, hi, Linda, hun. And Aaron says, I know why. It's because they was using it to spell bad stuff or racist names and getting away with it. Maybe. I don't know. I think it's just a different way of doing things. They're trying to, I guess, make it look more like what's that thing that everybody's using now? Everybody keeps trying to get me to get on. I keep thinking Stitch, but that's not it. I can't think of what it is. A new communication thing that they just started using a lot of. Everybody's got one. Can't think of what it's called now. John says, hi, Linda. Good to see you, heart. And Linda says, how are you feeling, Amanda? Amanda says, I can see that, Linda. But damn, punish all of us for it. Ugh. Huh? I must have missed one. I think that was Aaron that said that. I know why. It's because they're misspelling racist stuff and whatever. Getting away with it. Now, they're not punishing us for it. They're just changing things. Linda says, hi, Nugget, heart. Christine Marshall says, wave your hand, Linda. Fab Daddy says, they don't print cents anymore. I am hoarding. Why? It's about time they got rid of that useless coin, don't you think? I've got jars and jars full of them. You hardly ever can use them anymore. We just collect them. They just take up space. It costs more money to print a penny than it's worth. What's the point in even having one? I think that's a good idea. Save a lot of money not printing pennies. Imagine that. I wonder how much that would equal in the long run of a year or 5 years of not printing pennies, how much money that would save in manpower and equipment use and ink and not ink, but metals. I bet that would be a point towards the deficit, just not making pennies. Interesting. Amy Elizabeth says, evening. Hey, Amy. How you doing? And Aaron says, oh, she's sexy. Talking about the guitar. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's got a long way to go still. I still got to do a crowning and fret leveling and all that good stuff. But she's a player. That is not a valuable guitar. It's a student model. But with what I'm doing to it and the stuff that I've added to it, it's becoming valuable. And when I get done with it, you're going to be able to take that thing on stage and play it. And everybody's going to envy it. John says, that's so nice. Thumbs up. Thank you. Amanda says, hi, Amy. And Linda says, hi, Amy. Wave your hand. And Soph says, hey, Linda. How are you, my beautiful friend? And Aaron says, I see you over there, Amy. Hang on, my chat jumped again. Christine says, hi, Amy. And Linda says, hi, Soph and Christine. And Amy says, uber busy at work, but I'm listening. Yeah, you had to take on a second job while you're over there doing your job. Now you're driving Uber too. John says, hi, Amy Hart. And Fab Daddy says, I found a nugget. It was stuck between my teeth. Toothpicks find all the gold. Right on. Soph says, how are you, Linda? John says, Fab, you shouldn't be chewing rocks. Right on. Yeah, that'll make your teeth pop out. Aaron says, ice cream time. That sounds like a good idea. I don't have any ice cream. I got cookies, though. I'm going to eat a cookie later. Linda says, it's been a busy day, Soph, but doing pretty good today. That's always lovely to hear. And Amanda says, nice, Aaron. I made Jake fresh baked chocolate chip cookies, all warm and gooey. That's what she said. Soph says, Linda, I went to the disco last night with my boyfriend Daniel, and he is such a funny person ever. He's very hilarious. That sounds like a good relationship you got there, Soph. I'm hoping he's a good guy. Aaron says, Twitch. No, it's the other one. It's a new one. All I can think of is like Twitch or Patreon. That's not it. It's neither one of those. It's Stacked. No, it ain't Stacked. What is it? Something to do with communicating via text. That's all I know. I've never looked into it. But everybody has them. I can't think of what it's called. It doesn't matter. It's not Twitch, though. That's just what comes to mind when I'm thinking about it. But that's not it. Aaron says, oh, I love cookies too much. I love cookies too much. Me too. I would eat way too many of them if I had them. Linda says, I'm glad you had a good time, Soph. And Fab Daddy says, gooey, ooey goodness. Oh, yeah. What's the thing that everybody's using now? Whole body deodorant? What are you trying to say? Aaron says, facts, Fab. And Linda says, Amanda says, I feel better today, Linda. It's the heat getting to me. It'll do that. It's a different kind of heat here than you got in Florida. This kind of heat will stick to you. Christine says, yep, Africa needs to be cleared for a new slate for both sides of this conflict. Hopefully, the new leader of Africa, the new leader of Africa's Union will step up and come to the table, and he could have gotten this done. Yeah, well, maybe Trump will get that done and be more of a hero to everybody on planet Earth, and everybody that isn't on Trump's team will just figure out a reason to say he failed. Doesn't really matter what he does now, does it? I'm of the mind that it doesn't matter what he does. We should stop listening to those people altogether and just let him get on with the business of doing what he's going to do. So Fallon says, how are you? Amanda, I hope you're doing well. Fab Daddy says, I need under my butt and under my nut deodorant. No need for under my boobs. That's horrible. I don't need any of that because I don't stink. How about that? There, I said it. Now you live with it. I mean, I smell like sweat, but my sweat smells good, productive. It smells like money. I don't know. Linda says, I don't know what that meant either. Aaron says, I thought the cent comment was a play on words like no sense. No, they actually stopped making pennies. And like no common sense. And Fab is hoarding his. Yeah, no, they're actually not making pennies anymore. And I actually think that's a good idea. Apparently, Fab says correct. He wasn't doing a play on words. I thought you were talking about actual pennies because they actually did stop making pennies about a month ago. John H. says, in Britain, they're trying to ban real money, just cards. Oh, yeah, they're trying to do that all over the world. They've been trying since the 70s, and eventually they will succeed. Write it down that I said so. At some point, money is going to go away, and it'll all be credit. Or digital. That's in the Bible. That's how I know it's going to happen. Aaron says, it didn't go over my head. Well, apparently went over mine because I thought he was talking about the real thing. Aaron says, well done, Fab. Fab says, when does Amy enlighten us with her wonderful wit when it comes to her? She's working right now, but I'm sure she'll pop up with something cleverly hilarious. In and out. Linda Davis says, is it Snapchat? No, it's going to drive me crazy now. Discord. It's Discord. Discord is the one I'm thinking of. Thank you. Snapchat jarred it loose in my brain. That wasn't it, but it got me thinking on the right track. It was Discord. Maybe I need to have a Discord. Fab Daddy says, how can you tell the sex of an ant? You drop the ant in the water, and if it sinks, girl ants. And if it floats, boy ants. How do you know that? Are you saying girl ants can't swim? Aaron says, Snapchat, I never will get trash app, right? I don't like that app either. Amy says, title, what am I pissed about today? I'm only getting a 2% raise this year. Last year it was 2.5%. But upper management gave themselves huge raises. Yeah, that sounds like the way they do business. Yep. Give themselves all the money and give you pittance. That sounds right. I haven't had a raise in many years. If you would like to contribute to my raise, though, you can do that by going to CashApp, $JakeJohnsonband, or Super Chat, the chat box if you want to. You can do that, or get yourself a coffee cup. Those are nice. We got stainless steel tumblers down there, and T-shirts, and hats, and shorts, and more T-shirts, and towels, and pillows, and phone cases, and stickers, and you name it, we got it. That little thing that goes brrrr at the end of your bathroom door, we got one of those too, I'm sure. Christine says, alchemists achieved turning lead into gold with paper money. And before paper money, they had money made out of leather. When we don't use precious metal through history as our money, it's a scam. Well, first of all, alchemists never did turn lead into gold. That's called the philosopher's stone, and they've been searching for that literally forever. One guy claimed to have done it, but he couldn't reproduce it, and neither could anybody that he told. And the king beheaded him because he couldn't do it a second time. So that didn't happen. And I don't know about using leather for money. We have often used barley and wheat for money in the Egypt days and things like that. And we've also used indiscriminate tokens for money in certain areas, like things that have no value. Just, hey, this is money. So like an IOU kind of. But I don't think that lasted very long. The only monetary system that's ever lasted was the one based on gold, because gold has intrinsic value and there is no more of it, and that sets the price, which means you can't inflate it but so much and then it just vanishes because there's no more gold to back it up. We haven't used that since Richard Nixon, when he took us off the gold standard and put us on the petrodollar, which is based on oil, which is why we have all the trouble in the Middle East that nobody seems to understand why we're over there fighting. That's why, because they have the oil and we want it, or we want control of it. Now, that petrodollar thing, that contract ran out this year, but I have not heard in any way, shape, or form what they're doing about that yet. Nobody's talking about it yet, so we have to wait and see what's going to happen, if they quietly re-upped it, or if they're going to do something else, or maybe we'll go into the M&M dollar, base all our currency on the red M&Ms. That would be nice. Linda Davis says, I don't have it either, Aaron. It's known as the cheater way to get to communicate, I guess. All I know is it makes you look like anything but yourself, and it really isn't useful. Aaron says, facts, Linda, and WhatsApp too. I do have WhatsApp, only because my cousin communicates with me on it. Christine says, yep, I got a lot of wheat pennies, right? Fab Daddy says, double play on words, double the fun. Like spearmint. I got you. Double your pleasure, double your fun. Have some spearmint gum and a couple of twins. I like it. Aaron says, anything with a hide message feature is not for me, and if a girl has it, I'm like, nope. I hear you. One of those kind of apps. Yeah, well, one thing is, I'm a grown man. I don't play silly games. So my phone is unlocked, and it stays that way. And the reason it stays that way is because I don't have anything to hide. And I think when you're grown, you take responsibility for your actions. Therefore, whatever I do, whatever I decide to do, is my business, because I'm grown. And everybody that knows me knows that I'm not hiding anything. I hold nothing close to the chest. If you want to know, ask me. I'll tell you. And I think that's the best policy. Anything other than that, and you're really leading a double life, and it gets complicated. I have a friend, a dear friend. I love him dearly. Probably one of my better friends. He hides the fact that he smokes from his wife. And he's always telling me, don't come near the door with your cigarette because she'll smell it. Or he'll take a puff and put his cigarette out and then brush his teeth, try to get the smell. And I'm like, dude, you're 62 years old. Just smoke. Really? I mean, what are you doing? You afraid she's going to cut you off or kick you out? What are you doing here? It's your house. I'm not hiding anything I do from anybody. I am me, good and bad. There's a lot of good. There's a lot of bad too, but it equals out. It's just easier to live that way. I don't have to pretend or hide anything. Linda says, I'll stay away from that one too, Aaron. Rich says, Amy Elizabeth. Hang on, my chat jumped again. There it is. Aaron says, it deletes soon as the conversation is over and they can sit and cheat while sitting next to you. Yeah, why would you do that? I don't understand. Go cheat. Go do your thing. You don't need me. You want to be here, be here. You want to be there, be there. I'm not going to stop you. Can't have it both ways, though. Rich says, if I were your boss, I would give you a big raise. Well, thank you, Rich. I appreciate that. You kind of are my boss. I don't know if you've noticed that or not. I work for you. Fab Daddy says, play on words. Buoyant, because they float. I got it. I don't know why I didn't see that. Probably because I'm reading chat and half my brain is occupied. Buoyant. I got it. That's a good one, Fab. Matter of fact, I'm going to use that one. Bad shit crazy. What's up? Nice to see you, buddy. Amy says, I have a lot of wheat pennies, too. I had a few of them, and then I took them all down to the change machine and got quarters, or dollars, rather. Aaron says, Discord is good. I use it with my son. Yeah, I still can't figure out what it's for, though. Well, I mean, how is it different than what I'm already doing? How could it add to what I'm doing? Could I use it as a supplement for my fans? Or can people get together on it and communicate via Discord? Or what? I mean, is it just another thing to do like Facebook Messenger? I don't understand. Fab Daddy says, same, Aaron, and I don't like Discord. Well, I just want to know if it's useful, if it's something I could use to benefit the show. Otherwise, what's the point in having another thing I got to keep up with? I'm already uploading to 11 platforms. It's exhausting. I do more work after the show than I do doing the show. I use it only to video up. It's good for that, says Aaron. Like video chatting? Could I use it to bring people into the show? I wonder if that would work that way. I really don't want to have to pay for StreamYards because I'd have to have that money coming out of the show in order to do so, and I haven't made that much yet, so. Eventually, I'd like to get something going on where I can have panels and invite people that actually know how to use a microphone and headphones and have them come in and do the show. I think that'd be fun. Christine says, yep, I know, Jake, but the premise of the thought of paper money literally is better than turning lead into gold. Paper into gold is what paper money is. The alchemist principle is achieving what paper money achieved. I got it. I understand what you're saying. Amy just got it. Buoyant. Ha ha. Aaron says, if the ant was blonde and a singer, you could name it Beyonce. That's funny. Amy says, Pink Panther ant. Dead ant. Dead ant, dead ant, dead ant, dead ant, dead ant, dead ant. I got that one. Fab Daddy says there's FaceTime and Messenger, so many apps to direct message. Discord is for young people, and they need their own platform. Yeah, I don't care about all that. They have all the platforms. Young people are why this stuff exists. Us Gen Xers just kind of took it back over because we invented it. John says, in Britain, we have plastic notes, monopoly money. Right on. I've never seen a pound, come to think of it, or a sterling. Is it actually silver or is it paper money? Sterling, I mean. They use different words. They use quid, they use pound, they use sterling. What else do they? There's another word they use for describe money. I'm guessing a quid is like $10, something like that, or 20, maybe. I don't really know. In America, we use dollars because it makes more sense. Anyway, Christine says they had paper money 200 BC, and yeah. Origin of the concept of paper money came from leather money and the whatever that word is. Before that was like barley. Yep. Like you said. Right. I'm not aware of using leather as money. That's all I meant by that, because I don't have any reference for that. It's interesting. Amanda says, all my stuff is unlocked, and if it's not, he knows the password. I have nothing to hide either, LOL. That's the way it should be. And that goes, like I said before, when you get into a relationship, and listen to me on this, when you get into a relationship, the moment you both decide that you're in a relationship, now we're not casually dating anymore, we're seeing each other, that day you sit down and have a negotiation. You lay out your terms on the table. You have a communication with one another and say, this is what I am, this is what I need, and this is what I expect. And then she'll do the same thing. This is what I am, this is what I need, this is what I expect. And you negotiate, and then you agree verbally on the details of things. That way, it ain't going to come up in the future, oh, I didn't know you were cheating on me. Well, you didn't negotiate that, right? Get everything worked out beforehand. Have an adult human conversation without anger and get it all worked out so that you know what to expect from one another. And then you don't have to hide things. You can be who you are. Never, ever enter a relationship pretending to be something you're not. It will exhaust you and ultimately will fail on you. Always. Be who you are. And if she doesn't like that, she's not worth having. Fab Daddy says, Amy with the wit. Awesome job. Aaron says, I agree with Jake. I leave my phone out, and she does too. It rings, and she says, answer it. And I do the same. Yeah, I don't have anything to hide. She trusts me implicitly because she knows what I am. I don't hide anything. She's seen me at my best. She's seen me at my worst too. And they're that way for both people. Everybody has the worst side. If you can live through that, then the best is a breeze. Amy says, I'm a terrible liar. My husband knew every time I tried, so I just didn't do it anymore. He had to teach me how to lie. Right on. Well, lying is not a good quality to have. I don't know why people get so accustomed to doing so and try so hard to become good at it. It's not a good quality. In fact, if you're a good liar, that says a lot about who you are as a person, and it ain't saying anything good. Christine says the Chinese used paper money first. I believe that. Fab Daddy says, please hit that like button, everybody. Share this channel out and buy the merch if you can. And thank you very much. Become a member and share your wit with us. Amen, Fab Daddy. Thank you very much for that plug. I appreciate it. And yes, please do like, subscribe, share, support, and join, and feed Jake if you can. I do appreciate that. You can do that by Super Chat or Cash App $ Jake Johnson Band, and I appreciate you. John Paquin 6204 says, I like money. John Paquin, I like money too, sir. Welcome to the show. Come on in. You'll have to tell me if you're somebody I know because they changed all the names back and I don't recognize anybody anymore. So, Amy says, Snapchat is responsible for a large amount of drug deals. Really? People buy fake pills from there and end up dead. Well, I hate to say this. Everybody ain't supposed to survive. Like people with peanut allergies. That's the world trying to tell you something. If you're allergic to peanuts, the world's trying to tell you maybe you should sit it out. If you're buying pills on Snapchat, you deserve what's coming to you. That's all I'm saying. That's like, I heard a comedian talk about this, but I've seen it in real life too, where the news talks about somebody that tried LSD and then jumped out of a window because he thought he could fly. And I'm thinking, yeah, I'm not so depressed about that. So we lost another moron. Shame. Here's a thought. If you think you can fly, try from the ground first. If you get somewhere, then go up. Common sense goes a long way, folks. Yeah, everybody ain't supposed to survive. Aaron says, my chat kept turning black, and I had to close and come back. Effing YouTube. Why you gotta make it racist, man? Yeah, they're doing some weird stuff on YouTube. I don't know why. It just seems like unnecessary drama. Every time you turn around, something's got to change. Something's got to do this. I get error messages when I kick off, and it's fine. It's been fine for an hour now. But when we first started, for 10 minutes, that yellow error message kept coming, flashing. And now it's fine. Explain that one. It's like they're just trying to make you nervous. I don't know why. Amanda says, hi, John. John Paquin says, hola, ¿cómo estás? Hello in English. Fab Daddy says, your ad, Aaron, was stuck. Been there, done that. So you're saying when the ad gets stuck, that's when it turns the chat black? Amanda says something about if I start off with a notification that she gets a clear chat, that she can see the video behind it. But if she just joins the chat, it's white and she can't see the video behind the chat. Something like that. I don't know why that happens, but it seems to be a weird thing YouTube does. I don't have that problem because everything I'm looking at is in two windows. I've got all my data up there and my chat down here and all my controls over here. So I can just see everything that's going on in little windows. And Linda says, same, Aaron. Everyone in my house answers my phone for me, even my granddaughter, LOL. Yeah, the day you'd catch me real easy if I was trying to cheat because I don't hide anything. Girls, when I go out and play, I come home with a pocket full of phone numbers and I just throw them in the trash. I'm not interested. I don't chase women to start with. I think that's a game for the young, and also if I chase them, I might catch them and then I'd have to contend with them. And the whole idea is to have them come back for more later on. Should come to another show. So I don't want to catch them. I just want them to think I'm chasing them. So I just, in my personal life, I avoid all of that. And I just don't do it. I'm not involved in anything like that. If you look at my phone, the only people in my contacts are people I do business with. That's it. And family. I don't have a bunch of friends. I don't go party. I don't go hang out. I don't drink. I stay away from things that cause trouble. Because I'm not trying to cause trouble. I'm trying to get somewhere in life. Word to the wise. Put your efforts in getting somewhere until you don't have any more effort to give, and then worry about partying and doing all the drugs and banging all the chicks. Right now, all it's going to do is get in your way. Amanda says, yep, it's the ads, Aaron. It keeps doing that to me, too. Well, believe me, I would turn them off if I could. I kind of need that $15 a month. That helps me keep this thing afloat. So, and that's if I get that. I learned something new. If I don't make $100, I don't get paid that month. I didn't know that. Now I do. There's a minimum. So I got to run them ads every chance I get and get as many super chats as I can get too. No pressure. Amy says, no habla español. Mi mejor papito es muy grande, señor. Muy. Aaron says, yep, a pain, Fab. John Packman says, hello, good evening. Hello, John. Aaron says, being John P. I don't know. Being John P? Be-in John P? I do not know what you're saying. Amy says, no speako Spanish-o. No speaky English. Yeah, this is an English channel. We don't speak other languages here. We teach them, but we don't speak them. Linda says, hi, John P. We had another John P. here years ago. I missed that guy. But welcome, new John. I'll catch up to you in a minute. Here we go. John says, all Spanish people understand when their check isn't right. I would imagine so. I understand when mine ain't right, too. John H. says, it used to be paper, £1. Now it's a coin. Yeah. It seems like that guitar player, Brian May, is that his name? The guy that played with Queen? He uses some kind of British coin. I'm not sure what it is, though. Some kind of maybe a 5-cent piece or $5 piece or whatever it is you guys have. It's like it's got a gold in the center of it and it's silver on the outside, almost like a quarter. It's about the size of a quarter. And he uses that as a guitar pick. There's some British coin. I don't know if it's a pound or not, but... So when you say, I've got a quid, what does that mean? Is that $10 or $20 or $50 or what is that? We're learning other languages here, folks. We're learning English, from English to English. My English to English dictionary is almost out. Fab Daddy says, I found my lighter. I swear I would lose my head if it wasn't attached to my shoulders. Me too. That's why I put everything in the place it goes. Every time I put it down, I never put it anywhere else, because if I do, I'll never find it again. Aaron says, my girlfriend speaks both, so I'm learning a lot. Nice. Rich says, Jake, OBS is a free software that can be used to manage multiple videos and audio sources, including those from remote participants and stream platforms like YouTube Live. Yes, sir. I use OBS. That's what I'm on right now. It doesn't, if you're referring to when I was talking about bringing people into the show, it does not do that. You have to have a third-party software to do that. There are ways to do that on YouTube, on OBS, but it's very complicated and it's very cumbersome and it doesn't work very well. Like StreamYards works, but you have to pay for it. You can get a free service, but it's kind of clunky. Amy says, did everyone change their YouTube names? No, ma'am. YouTube did. Apparently, they're switching us back to handles and not usernames anymore. And we showed up today, and it was like that. No warning. You think if they're going to make a change like that, they'd tell everybody to look for it, but nope, no warning. And Amanda says, nope, YouTube did it, Amy. Aaron says, YouTube did it. And Rich says, everybody except you. And Fab Daddy says, did Amanda sign a contract? For what? The negotiations that we had? No. It was a verbal agreement. In the state of North Carolina, a handshake law works in a court. If that's what you're referring to. I didn't make her sign a contract. John Packman says, do you think it's wrong to drink a beer and listen to Untethered? No. Drink ahead on, buddy. I think it's wrong if you drink a beer and then beat your wife while you're listening to Untethered. That kind of sucks. Or getting a wreck and kill somebody. But if you're just chilling on the couch, drinking a beer, if you're free, white, and over 21, go right ahead. Or any other color for that matter. It's just an expression. Southern thing. Rich says, drink up, man. Right on. Fab Daddy says, drink up, dude. John says, 'cause if I so wrong. 'Cause if I so wrong. 'Cause if I so wrong. 'Cause if so, I wrong. No, you're not wrong. Have a beer. Enjoy it. I'm drinking a cup of coffee right now. That's also a drug. It's a nerdy drug, but it is a drug. Amanda says, LOL, no, John. Fab Daddy says, makes two of us. Yeah, I think there's probably a few people drinking on a beer right now in here. And Linda says, no, John, enjoy your beer. Aaron says, drink, got nothing to do with the show. Right on. Yeah, you can listen while drinking. If it stops your ears up, if you're drinking in your ear, you might have a drinking problem. But other than that, I don't think it'll hurt you any. You are of age, aren't you? If you're like 12, then my advice does not stand. Fab Daddy says, drunk people don't hide. Neither do people that have nothing to hide. Rich says, John Paquin, smoking weed is another story, LOL. You can smoke a joint if you want to, I don't care. I'm not your daddy. I might be your daddy, but I'm not your daddy. John says, it's been hot. Just 3, 4, 5, maybe. I hear you. Enjoy yourself. Kick back and wind down. That's what we're here for. It's Friday. We call it a chill stream for that very reason, because we're chilling, all of us. And in very short order, I'm going to be sleeping. So we got that. It's been a long day. Christine says, China invented paper 2,000 years before anyone else. Paper was kept secret from the world, and we were chiseling in stone tablets while they had paper. Word of God could have spread faster with paper. I don't know if they kept it a secret or not. I don't seem to hear any chatter on that front or not. I don't know why it would be a secret. They did have gunpowder, and that was kept a secret. But maybe they kept paper a secret, too. I don't know. I don't know that much about China other than the main stuff, highlights or whatever. I know how they got there. I know that ancient China, but I don't know, the dynasties. I'm not real familiar with what they did in those periods of time. Fab Daddy says, I am so wrong. Have a beer, or 4, or 7. It don't matter. It don't matter to the sun. If you come or if you stay. If you go or if you stay. Batshit Crazy says, hiding cigarette use is ridiculous. Very difficult over time. Oh, yeah, definitely. And also, if you're in your 60s, that probably says something about your personality that you're hiding smoking. And I don't understand it. I'm like, dude, you pay the bills. Have a cigarette. What is she going to do? Beat you? I don't get it. Whatever. I dare somebody to tell me not to smoke in my house that I bought or that I built or that whatever. That cigarette has a hole in it. That cigarette told me not to smoke it. How dare you, sir? You ever had a cigarette with a hole in it? It looks like I smoke a lot on this channel, and I do, but not nearly as much as it looks like I do. I light a cigarette, and it goes out, and I light it again, and it goes out, and I light it again, and eventually I'll get to the bottom of it or burn it all out. John says, I can't mix them. Things get sideways. Weed and drinking? Yeah, I don't do any of that stuff. Don't get me wrong. I've done things. I'm not a saint. I just don't drink or do drugs. John says, Johnny Mike. Nice to meet you, Johnny Mike. I'm Jake Johnson. How you doing? Batshit Crazy says, Darwin Award medallion. Right on. Aaron says, LOL, Amanda. Chat is white and mine is black. YouTube is bullshit. Yeah, they're subliminally trying to race bait and get everybody all upset at the chat. Maybe we need to make an emoji, Black Chat Matters, or something like that. Hell no, we won't go. Hell no, we won't go. Silly. Sorry. Fab Daddy says, playa. 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 What are you saying? I'm a player. Guitar player. I'm a guitar slinger. Natural born guitar slinger. I'm a new note finder. My name's a reminder of a blues man already gone. Amy says, I think a guy was making a pass at me today at the gas station. It's been so long, I can't tell. Well, that's fantastic. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope he was a handsome fella. Well, how did you respond? What did you do? Did you take it? Did you push it away? Details, lady. Amanda says, LOL, Aaron. Fab Daddy says, hold on, my chat jumped. I'll get it. I'll find it. Eventually. Here we go. Fab Daddy says, Jake, send me the digits. I will screen them for diligence. And maybe more. Oh, the phone numbers? Oh, yeah, right. Just come hang out with me. Yeah, I'm sure you'll get seconds all night long. However you call it, whatever the young people are calling it. Just come be my wingman, man. You can have it all. I'll set them up and you knock them down. How about that? I'm good at that. And Fab Daddy says, I like to make passes at ladies. It makes them and me feel good and worthy. Or creepy. Nowadays, it's usually creepy. In the old days, they liked it. Our generation of ladies like it. This generation of ladies are creeped out by passes. They don't pass on young people. I don't understand this generation. I don't know how they expect to survive this generation because there certainly ain't a lot of procreating going on. I mean, they're doing sex. It's just weird sex. It's not like the kind of sex that leads to families, if you know what I'm saying. Linda says, Amy, you are beautiful. I'll agree with that. I think a lot of guys have hit on you. You just don't recognize it. Well, you know, sometimes you got to be in the right frame of mind to see that. Or maybe you think that you see it, but you don't want to be presumptuous and think, well, who am I to think everybody I see is hitting on me? Maybe he is. Either way, you are a beautiful girl, and you deserve to be hit on and whistled at and doors held open for you and all that stuff. You definitely deserve that. And I'll go a step further, Amy. You have every right to allow that to happen, and no one here or there is going to feel upset about that. You are here alive. You have every right to live. Aaron says, Amy, if you think it, he probably was. And he's smart if he did. Right on, Aaron. Hey man, have you guys seen pictures? I've seen pictures. She's cute. Linda says, we speak English and sarcasm. Right. We're fluent in sarcasm. Amy says, I speak English and bad English. Movie quote. I've seen that movie, but I can't remember which one it is. Amanda says, LOL, right, Linda? And some French. Aaron says, ℕ𝕬𝕗𝕗𝕗, the new language. I like it. English and sarcasm. Right on. John Packman says, aww-wee. Amy says, you could always have a call-in number and put it on speakerphone. I've thought about that. I have thought about that. And that's not a bad idea. And I might do that. Because I've got the technology to do that. In fact, around here somewhere, I've got a little device that you can plug into your phone, and it amplifies whatever comes out of it. I just have to find it. Fab Daddy says, I retract my comments over and over. Can I get a number one crown? I can't have any control over that, Fab Daddy. I don't know how that even works. I'm sure if you do the right thing, you'll get a number one crown. You could always try super chatting. That'll do it. I think. I might be wrong about that, too. John says, gold on the outside and silver in the middle, the British pound. 1 pound, 2 pounds, 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 50 pounds. There you go. Thank you, sir. Fab Daddy says, it makes me ponder. I wouldn't do that too much. You might drown. Amy says, the Bible that Aaron ordered for me has been shipped. It'll be here July 1st. That's the first year anniversary of my dad going to heaven. That's beautiful, Amy. I can't wait for you to see it. I hope you'll take pictures of it and put it up on your Facebook so we can all see it. We'll take a screenshot of it and put it on ℂ𝕻REDLive Facebook page. That's a beautiful gesture, Aaron. Thank you so much for doing that. I know Amy's going to cherish that Bible. Aaron says, Amy, how did you keep your name? I think that's just her name. Fab Daddy says, my name hasn't changed. Yep, you're right. Amanda says, Fab, call this number, 605-476-6968. Whose number is that? Amy says, I don't know, Aaron. Maybe because it was already a name with numbers behind it. I think the reason your name didn't change is because you didn't change your name. That's just the name that you use. Everybody else whose name reverted back to their original handle, they had altered their name for something. Like Amanda had emojis and then the word Banhammer added to her name. But that's the same name as your handle or your YouTube page, so that's why I didn't change. Fab Daddy says, is that J.G. Wentworth? Nope, that's 87765 or 87769. Call A.G. Wentworth, 87765, something like that. There's 2 sevens in it. I remember that. Aaron says, Amy, I planned it that way. I remember your daddy, and you told me. Nice. Aaron says, double gift. Those are the best kind. And Amy says, 8675309. Isn't that Jenny's song? Amanda says, nope, just call it. Okay, Fab Daddy, call that number. Apparently Amanda gave you her phone number. And Fab Daddy says, thanks. Amy says, that's so sweet, Aaron. It is. Aaron's a good dude, Amy. Trust me on that. Amanda says, no, Aaron says, Amanda don't have numbers. Nope. Fab Daddy says, that's popcorn number. I don't know what it is. Aaron says, I told you, Amy, I got your back. And he does. He's had my back a few times. And thank you for that, too. Amanda says, I did have 420 behind my name, and I took it off and put the band hammer back because YouTube took it completely off. Amy says, I need to clean the nicotine off the walls in my RV. Well, yeah, you got to do that. Get you something with a little bit of, I don't know, paint thinner or some kind of alcohol-based something or other and wipe it right off. Aaron says, I didn't know you had an RV too, Amy. RV life right there. You guys are made for each other. Friend-wise, I mean. Amanda says, that's a battle, Amy. John Packman says, I think my name was John P. on here before. We had a John P. on here before. You're not the same John P., are you? You're not John Favalios, are you? Fab Daddy says, I tried the number. It's a lie. Amanda says, LOL, what did you say? What did it say, Fab? What did that number say? What is that number for? You're going to make me want to call it now. Amanda says, what did it say, Fab? And Amy says, I forgot to share. I just did. Well, gosh darn it. I'm glad you did. Christine Marshall says, yep. Got to clean the nicotine off the walls here also. Me too. So I can put more back up there. Fab Daddy says, it said it was an international number. Amy says, no details, just small talk. And he opened the door for me. Aw. Well, you know what? A man that'll open the door for you in this day and time is trying. That's not something that men just do anymore. And the reason we don't just do it is because there's so many people that yell at us for doing it. I can open my own door, blah, 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 blah. Whatever, lady. I'm just trying to be nice. So if he opened the door for you, he's making an effort. He's putting a foot forward. So that's worth a smile or, a small conversation, a little small talk, a little flip of the hair, something like that. You did good. I'm proud of you. Amanda says, you didn't listen to it. Yeah, you got to listen to the song. You got to listen to the phone number, Fab. Amanda says, that's sweet, Amy. It is. Aaron says, hell no, don't make that. It would be a picture of 3 fat black chicks. More like Fat Lives Matter. The whole group is trash. Oh, you talking about the fat black chat matters? Funny joke I was trying to come up with that fell flat. It was funny in my head. It just didn't come out right. Anyway, yeah, it would be weird. All of that stuff is, you can see right through it. These people are just capitalizing on what's happening. That's all there is to it. It's like that Jesse Jackson guy. All he is a capitalizer. He'll take any opportunity he can to get his face on TV and make a little bit of scratch. I wish I had the balls to be that scrupulous. Could you imagine, with what I know, the things you've heard me expound on this show, if I had the wherewithal to be like one of these television evangelists, I'd be a millionaire right now. If I just didn't care about taking advantage of people and pushing my message and go get on some radio station and build an audience, go down south and hit all those poor people that believe in God, man, I'd be raking it in. That ought to tell you who I am right there because I'm aware of that. and I still don't do it. John H. says, in Britain, if you wolf whistle, you could get arrested now. That's what we call catcalling. Yes. Yes, you can get arrested for telling a girl she's pretty. Explain to me how, if you can't date people at the office, if you can't whistle at a girl on the streets or go up and talk to her, if you can't hold the door for anybody, if you can't approach anybody at the gym, how exactly are we supposed to make it to the next generation? Because all of those things, all of them, oh yeah, you can't have sex if you've been drinking because it's non-consensual then, it's date rape. How are we supposed to survive? Because all of those things are involved in mating. All of them. Every one of them. Explain to me how this is supposed to work going forward. Do you know what'll dry up a girl's panties faster than anything on this planet? Ask her for permission to do what you're about to do and watch what happens. It'll be the Sahara Desert down there before you can blink. Butt sex, says John, right? Apparently that's all they're into these days. Don't need to whistle for that, I guess. Amanda says, LOL, Aaron. Christine says, Jake always sounds like he is on the borderline of being beat up by Amanda with lady comments. But you backtrack and clean it up well. No, she's not going to beat me up. She's seen me in action. See, the thing you don't understand is when I'm out there getting that kind of attention, she's right over there watching it happen. She knows where I'm going to go when the lights go off, right? That's the thing that the people in the audience don't know. What they see is curtain goes up, there's Jake. Curtain goes down, no more Jake. That's all they see. I have to leave that place and go home at some point. So she knows what happens after the curtain goes down. So that's a privileged position. She's not worried about what I say in the slightest. Believe me, I have a line. It is further than most people's line, but I have one, and I don't cross it. Amanda says, LOL, John. Kevin Bernard says, hello, everyone, and hello, Jake. Kevin, nice to see you, buddy. How you doing? Nice to have you. Amy says, hi, Kev. And John says, hey, Kev. Thumbs up. Kevin says, hello, Amy. And Amanda says, oh, no, Christine. I know who he comes home to, and he don't hide it, so I don't mind. He can say whatever he wants. Thank you, ma'am. And Linda says, hi, Kevin. Kevin says, hello, John. Amy says, English and bad English, Fifth Element. I knew it was one I've seen recently. Amanda says, hi, Kevin. Fab Daddy says, I don't know this Kevin. Fab Daddy? Kevin. Kevin? Fab Daddy. Now you know him. Kevin Bernard is a new but loyal visitor to the show, and I have a feeling he'll probably be becoming a member before too long. And Kevin says, hello, Linda. Aaron says, Amy, fiber than a Persian rug and a frog skin on a silk blanket. That's odd. Kevin says, hello, Aaron. Aaron says, finer. Oh, finer. Amy's finer than a Persian rug on a frog skin on a silk blanket. That makes more sense now. Yeah, she's pretty. John Packman says, the young generation is soft nowadays. No work ethic, no heart, no get up and go. True, all true. And it's sad to say. It's sad to see. That means our generation following that is going to be really in trouble and not have anything to work with. Aaron says, Kevin, good to see you, sir. And Amanda says, anyway, Fab, it's the rejection hotline. You're welcome. The rejection hotline. What's it do? Tell you off? Tell you you're not worthy? Let you down easy? It's nice to be able to call and get that on a daily basis so you don't have to go out looking for it, I guess. Dating is a numbers game, boys. If you want to be with the hottest women in the world, you want to be one of those real players that goes out and gets them, slaying. You want to slay the ladies? Let me tell you how you do it. You think of a number between 1 and 1,000 and go hit it. That's how. You're going to get told no 10 times to 1, maybe 20. Maybe 30, but 1 will eventually happen. I mean, at some point, somewhere, someone will say yes. You just have to find them. It's a numbers game, and you have to not be afraid of being rejected. That's it. That's all. That's what the big guys are doing. You just don't get to see that part. You only see the successes. That's what the trick is. John Packman says, America's headed down the wrong road. Yes, it is. Well, John, pull up a chair and hit that subscribe button, buddy, because you found the one podcast in the world where we're trying to change that very thing. We're trying to re-educate people to think properly and go out and find a world or build one that's worth having. That's what we're doing here. So come be part of the community. I think you'll appreciate it. We do a lot of stuff here 5 nights a week. Christine Marshall says, I can try to make certain comments on certain topics, and it says your comment is an invalid and unsupported comment. LOL. This is killing freedom of speech. Yes, YouTube does that, and I'm sorry that they do that. That whole thing, that whole behavior has got me wanting to jump ship and go over to Rumble, and if I had half the audience over there that I have here, I would do that. But I don't have the audience build up over there. I don't have the infrastructure to keep me going. I would crash and burn if I just jumped over there. But I might start building that audience and go over there one day a week, like on a Friday or something like that, and start building up the audience over there. And then at some point transition over, like Crowder and Tim Pool did. That's the only way I can think of to do it. Because I've got to be able to make a living or else this ain't worth doing, right? If I can't keep the lights on, there's no point in continuing. So far, it's been pretty good. This last month is the first month I have not been paid by YouTube since I got monetized. And the reason for that is because I lost 2 very important donors because apparently they don't like freedom of speech either. But you live and you learn. You do what you got to do. We'll build back up. We'll get there. But just know that this ain't easy to do. It takes a lot of commitment, a lot of time, and it's important. So what we built here is important. It's not just frivolous. It's not just for entertainment. Yes, it's entertaining, but you get something out of this transaction too. So if you are within the rights to do so and you have the wherewithal to do so, I would appreciate you help me keep it going if you can. But yes, Christine, they are ever more and more encroaching on your freedoms. And at some point, all of your freedoms will be gone because we don't ever say anything about them when they do take those little steps and step on little freedoms. Pretty soon those little steps add up, though, and then you're losing real rights, the inalienable kind, the ones that God gave us. And we need to protect those. Fab Daddy says, tiny wiener rejections. It's crazy. If you think it's small now, wait after I jump into ice cold water. Yeah, I don't think it's small. I don't have that problem, Fab Daddy. Rich says, Amanda Banhammer, are we all exchanging phone numbers? Anyone want mine? Rich, you can give us your phone number if you like, but no, that was a joke phone number. I only give my phone number to people who email me and ask for it. If you want my phone number, go to this email address on the screen right here. That's UntetheredLivestream@gmail.com. Go hit that email up and ask for it. And if you are worthy, I will give it to you. And then you can call and talk to me in person with no camera in my face. And if you feel nervous, I can just flip it around and put the camera in my face. John H. says, Christine, it's YouTube censorship. Yes, it is. And we need to protect our speech. That's all we got left. Amy says, I was in the pool. George Costanza voice. Oh, it was shrunk. Yeah. That's a case of being seen at the wrong time. Christine says, invalid argument is their technique to block your worldview of Jesus. Yep. Well, guess what? That argument is not invalid, and I can prove it. And I do so Sunday and Monday nights every week right here on Untethered Live. We need more and more people to come watch that show. It's important that we grow that channel, because if we do, we're reaching out to more people, getting more people onto the side of God. That's what this world needs. That's what we're missing. So everybody here, it's your job to go out and bring people to Bible study. That's how we do it, one soul at a time. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, slowly. Amanda says, LOL, Rich. It wasn't my number. It was the rejection hotline. Call it. It's funny. 877 cash now. Thank you, Rich. That's driving me crazy back there in the back of my head. Call 1-800-877 cash now. Aaron says, my number. Hold on. Chat jumped. Where'd it go? Aaron says, my number is the Aaron's rental place. My daughter thought that was my store when she was small. Nice. Linda says, are you handing out cash, Rich? Right on. Yeah, Rich, are you handing out cash? 877 cash now. That's A.G. Wentworth's phone number. Call A.G. Wentworth, 877 cash now. Check it a cash. John H. says, sugar soap, if they do it ever there. Sugar soap, if they do it ever there. I don't know what you mean there, John. Amanda says, Dawn and vinegar will take, nicotine. Got it. Sugar and soap. We'll take it off. Yeah, because the sugar is granule. So it's like using sandpaper. It's like wet sanding the walls. But sugar melts. Salt in soap might work better. Amanda says, Dawn and vinegar will take the nicotine off and not ruin the walls. If they are white, you can use a cap or two full of bleach if you have white walls. Most people don't have white walls. If you have white walls, you need a super chat right now because you got way more money than the rest of us. Amy says, I was going to use some Simple Green. Simple Green works. Or that purple stuff. Purple stuff is real good for cleaning. Amanda says, that might work, Amy. Christine says, awesome. Thumbs up. Thank you, Christine. Aaron says, simple green and vinegar. John says, or vinegar and lemon smells better, and the citric acid cleans the smoke and grease. Nice. I use lemon on my guitars. Lemon oil. Or orange oil or something like that. Sometimes I use vitamin E oil. Or anything I can get my hands on. I have used bacon grease. Bacon grease works too. To moisturize the fretboard. Keep it from drying out. Makes it play smooth. What I use on the fly is WD-40. A little spray and a wipe off. And you play like butter. Try it, guitar players. A little squirt of WD-40 down the fretboard and wipe it off with a paper towel. Bam, you're done. Oh, John hit me with a £5 super chat and says, white walls. Thank you, John. God bless you, sir. I appreciate that. You and your white walls. Linda says, in my town, everyone opens the door for you or holds the door for you. It's a small town in America. Right on. Yeah, I was taught as a child chivalry. I was taught that there's certain things that men do. They hold the door for you. They help you cross the street. You know, they stand up for you if you're being attacked. Simple stuff. Tip of the hat, yes, ma'am. Please and thank you. Table manners. Hold your pinky up when you drink. All that stuff. And it stuck. Amy says, Jake, scrupulous balls, Johnson. Scrupulous balls. I like it. JSBJ, that's my name. Jake, scrupulous balls, Johnson. I wish I had unscrupuled balls because I'd be a lot richer. I mean, I own a camera and I live in a college town. Does that not tell you what kind of character I have? And also, I'm popular. You know how hard it would be for me to get some girls over to my house and just film it? But I don't. I stay away. I say that like it's an achievement. Just don't take advantage of people, that's all. I think I'm a worthy investment all of my own. I don't think I need to do anything illegal or unscrupulous to be worth something in the world. However, if you want to have a good look on the inside of that, there's a movie starring Steve Martin called, hang on a minute, it's right on the tip of my tongue. Anybody know the movie? Shoot. I gotta look it up. I think it's called Leap of Faith. That's it. That's it. Leap of Faith. Go watch that movie. It's free on YouTube right now, I think. And go watch that movie and you'll get a good idea, a good look into what it's like being a televangelist on that side of things, on the Kenneth Copeland side of things. It's a very good movie. In fact, I'm going to watch it tonight when I get done. That's a good movie. Amanda says, Jake always opens all my doors because I'm a gentleman, and don't you ever let anybody tell you different. Amy says, that's what you're calling it, Amanda. Fab Daddy says, I be a rebel. Let's screw. Believe it or not, 1 out of 100 times that will work. Believe it or not. I've used a line once in my life that worked one time, but it worked. And that's, hey, why don't you give me your phone number before I decide I don't want it anymore? And I got it. I don't know why I got it, but I got it. Cool points for days. All the guys were talking about that move. Have no idea why the girl gave me her number. She must have really been insecure. I was in college, but it worked that one time. That's all you need. I personally err on the side of doing something noble and a gesture of goodwill. That usually gets girls' attention. If you really want a girl to find you attractive, if you really want a girl to go all out and fall in love with you, build her a table. Write it down that I said so. I'm giving out real wisdom, boys. Build her a table. There is nothing on planet Earth more sexy to a woman than a man that knows how to build stuff. Believe that. Write it down. Ask them if you think I'm wrong. Amanda says, LOL, Amy. Well. Sorry. John Packman says, when the lights go off, Jake goes to sleep. Pretty much. Yes. I am over 50, and I am much less 20 than I used to be. much less 20. And so My days of bouncing off the walls and hanging from the rafters and pouring beer all over everybody and running around half naked or completely naked, those days are behind me. But I still get down, if you know what I'm saying. Fab Daddy says, ha ha. And I'm thinking about joining a band as a bass player or a drummer. Now that I can't sing, I got to do something. So I'm thinking about doing that and just see what the world's like on that side of the stage for a little while. So I'll be able to do craziness from a different angle. So that ought to be interesting. I got lots of energy. Being a drummer might be fun. Linda Davis says, also, if you are in line at the store and you only have a few items, the person in front of you will let you go ahead. Yeah, they don't do that here. Here, they cut in front of you regardless of what you got. If they see an opportunity, they'll jump right in front of you. I hate that behavior with a passion. It's like, or they'll get up there and just go as slow as possible, like pulling quarters out of their little purse, things like that. There's a line down the way. Everybody's holding stuff, and you're over there counting pennies. Don't do that. Here's a thought. Have an idea what you're going into the store for before you go into the store. Have your money ready. Have your list out, go in, get what you want, and go out. It's that easy. But that's nice that your little town acts that way. It's very nice to have a place that is cordial. Amy says, true, Linda. And Amanda says, I say, let them get Jake all worked up, and then he can come home and take it out on me, however he sees fit. Well, that's one way to do it. I don't get too worked up, though. It's a job. Christine says, awesome, Jake and Amanda. Yeah, a lot of people might think that I'm a whore dog, but I'm not. It's a job. It's in the job description. Be a front man. That's literally what I do is flirt with the crowd. That's the job. So it doesn't get me worked up. It gets them worked up. What I find attractive, you will never see in a bar. Fab Daddy says, I taught my son to be a gentleman. Well, that's good, Fab Daddy. You're supposed to. Did you teach him how to hold a job and bring home the bacon? Because that's the next part. Aaron says, Amanda is Jake's home. For sure. And I am no idiot. Despite what people might say about me when I'm not listening, I am no moron. Believe me, I know where my bread is buttered. And I'd like to keep it getting buttered. So. Amy says, frog skin on a silk blanket. He called me a frog face. At least he didn't say your beauty could pause time. Or your beauty is timeless. If he said that, then you could say, did you just say I got a face that'll stop a clock? Amanda says, that's right, Aaron. I know all his spots and points, and ain't nobody gonna hit them like I do. How about that shit? Ba-bam. Christine says, the word of God says it's better to be on the corner of a roof than in the house with a nagging wife. So that's good to hear, Amanda. Is so chill. I never said that. No, she's fine. And she doesn't have anything to nag about. You got to get mad about things that don't matter around me because I'm pretty copacetic. Aaron says, Amy, Kermit was loved. Yep. And then there was Miss Piggy. And that was a whole different kind of thing. She constantly had a frog in her throat, if you know what I'm saying. Fab Daddy says, it's hard being green. Yes, it is. Amy says, I'm teasing. Amy says, does Kermit have blue or green balls? It depends on how you treat him. Normally they're green, but if you're Miss Piggy, they're blue. Christine says, smiley face, and John Packman says, I think I've been subscribed for 3 weeks or so. All right, John. I didn't know. I can't see if you're subscribed when I see your face or your handle, but that's good to know. Thank you. John H. says, I'm going to say good night. I got a busy day off to the sea with my metal detector and my puppy with me. Much love and God bless you all. John, go find us some ancient cursed coins or something, some pirate stuff. Have a good night, buddy. God bless you, and we'll see you next time. Enjoy the ocean and the puppy. Amanda says, good night, Nugget. Christine says, good night, John. Amy says, good night, Nuggy. Night, Nuggy. Linda Davis says, Johnny, he just doesn't recognize your new name. Good to see you here again tonight. I don't think that's John Favalios. If it is, he's been a member for a lot longer than 3 weeks. I don't think that's him. It's Johnny Mike. Okay. Yeah, I don't recognize that. I know who Johnny Mike is, or I've talked to Johnny Mike. So if that's the same guy, gotcha. All right. John Packman says, I don't recognize my new name either, LOL. Right on. It's a little jarring. I don't know why they wouldn't warn you of that. That seems like common sense. If you're going to change everybody's name, or unless there's somebody back there in the office sitting back and watching the calamity, the train, like watching a train wreck, why would you not tell everybody you're going to change their name? It's like we just walked into a room full of strangers. Nobody knows who anybody is. Thanks, YouTube. Linda says, good night, Nugget. Good luck this weekend. Fab Daddy says, time to steam my buns. 2 and 5, everyone. Till next week. Till again next we chat. Fab Daddy, thank you for being here. God bless you, sir. And let that be a lesson to the rest of you. While you're here, all 43 of you, hit that like button. Something wrong with my finger. Hang on. There. Subscribe button and press the bell icon so you get notifications of when I'm going to be online. Smash that like button. It's free. It's effortless. It's right in front of you. It really does help the channel with the algorithms. Helps us get recommended to other people. Won't you do that, please? Share this video with somebody you love. Better yet, share it with somebody you don't love. Bring them into the family. Make them part of the fold. Be part of their solutions, not part of their problems. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you're thinking about. Question me, curse me, bless me, challenge me, confront me, conform me, drink me Kool-Aid. Make your own Kool-Aid. As long as you think it's critical, that's what I want. Critical thought comes from that brain of yours. And hey, if you love what you've heard tonight and you'd like to see more of it, if you'd like to help out in some substantial way, you can super chat or buy a t-shirt or join the channel. Get yourself a J tag. It looks great by your name. Gives you that authoritative pump that you need in a chat. Or you can go to paypal.me/JakeJohnsonBand, or Cash App users can go to $JakeJohnsonBand. Every little bit helps. It is a win-win. It's a blessing to me, but it's a blessing to you too, because God notices these things. Now, I will do everything in my power to be worthy of that support. I will answer all of your questions and comments. I will hang out with you all night long, and I will be there for you 24/7 if you need me to be, like I always do right now. Okay, back to you guys. Thank you. Amanda says, good night, Fab Daddy. Amy Elizabeth says, I'm going to water my veggies when I get home tonight. Is that what the kids are calling it these days? It's been very dry and hot, and they're wilting. Yeah, you got to take care of them twigs and veggies, baby. You know what I'm saying? Get in there. Get them wet. Linda Davis says, good night, Fab Daddy. And Amy says, I brought a couple of people to the chat. Yes, you have, and I thank you for that. And those people, for the most part, have stuck around. Where's Sue tonight, by the way? She was digging it last time, seemed like. Amy says, I was outside with the hose on at midnight last night. Right on. Yeah, last time we went pretty long, didn't we? Amanda says, yep, you're awesome, Amy, and thank you for bringing them. Yes, thank you for bringing them. you are contributing to this channel more than you know, because you have the effort to go out and help us grow, and that is very important. There are many, many, many ways to help us out, by the way. It's not all monetary. There's other things we need too. So if you're willing and you just don't have money, that's fine. If you want to help, get with me in a private conversation. Email me. Ask what I have need of. I'll tell you. There's many ways. And also, it's not necessary at all. If you just want to sit back and ride the wave, you can do that, like Fab Daddy. Christine Marshall says, Iran just threatened to nuke us. I got to see what it's about. Love y'all. I'll come back if you're here. Well, we're getting ready to bounce. But I'd watch out for them Iranians. They're gearing up to start some trouble. I hope Trump has a understanding of what he's dealing with over there. But go take care of that, Christine, and let us know if anything changes. Amy says Iran doesn't have any nukes to use. I don't know if they do or not. I personally don't believe anybody does, but that's just my belief system. I think we've been trading on the fear of nuclear weapons since Nagasaki, Japan, since the Pearl Harbor days. I don't think we have nuclear weapons because there's several reasons I'll get into another night. But there are legitimate reasons why I think that. I think we're just using it as a fear tactic. And I think everybody else is in on the take. I think it is an expedient way to get what you want politically without having to actually throw any big punches. Just a little fear goes a long way. I could be completely wrong. And it'd be all right if I was. Because just thinking like that is enough to be weary of what's going on. So in this case, it's like people touching children. You don't have to actually do it to be afraid of it, or have it done to be afraid of it. A red flag is enough, right? A good parent, a red flag is all you need. I don't have to have proof. I don't have to see it in action. I don't have to know that you're guilty. If I just get the whiff that you might be thinking about it, my kids are gone. You're not ever going to see them again. A red flag is enough. In this case, with the nuclear weapons, it's about the same thing. A red flag's enough. So that may be why all of the nuclear talk. But it just seems to me like it's awful politicized and nobody seems to be moving in a hurry. If that were a real thing and there were people that could actually do that sort of thing, they'd be acting a little bit differently than just making a good speech on TV or getting the good talking points or whatever. It just seems a little weird, like global warming. If that were a real problem, you think senators and ex-presidents would be buying beachfront property? You think they would be a little more concerned about using their private jet so much? You think maybe there wouldn't be so much spending and somebody would be actually trying to solve that problem rather than just talk about it and scare everybody into giving them money? So that's kind of what I think. I think it's all bullshit. But you see the red flag, run. That's all I can tell you. Better to be safe than sorry. Aaron says, I saw you beans, Amy. You saw Amy's beans? Boy, you are lucky. Amanda says, good night, Christine. And thank you for the super chat, John. The £5 super chat. Nice. Amanda says, Iran ain't got any nukes left. I don't know if they ever had any to start with. John Packman says, Iran keeps playing America. Will be at their doorstep. That may be what all this is about, John. It may be coming to that. That sort of thing has to happen. It is biblical. It has been foretold for thousands of years that something like that was going to occur, and it may very well be getting ready to. And if that's the case, something like this would be the thing that would set it off. Let's hope that it's not now, though. Let's hope we got more time. That's gone. Amy says they didn't have any to begin with, and they were getting close, and that's why Trump stopped them. So maybe they're just running off at the mouth. John says they've been trying to get nuclear ICBMs over there for a long time, 20 years or so. Yeah. I really don't believe that we have any. I mean, think about it. What's the name of the company that maintains the silos that maintain the nuclear weapons that are clearly all over the United States, like in Nevada and all those fields? What's the name of the company that does that? What's the name of the app that they have replaced the 2 keys with? Because we have apps now. So now at the press of a button on an iPhone, what's the name of that app? What company develops that technology? Who makes the guidance systems for those ICBMs? Where do they warehouse and structuralize and keep safe all of these warheads that are nuclear in nature? And when I say nuclear, I don't mean a hydrogen bomb. I don't mean Big Bang TNT. I mean nuclear, like splitting the atom, vaporized, like you see in the movies. We don't have that. We might have hydrogen bombs. We might have the mother of all bombs, the Moab. We might have a few big yield TNT bombs. I don't think we got the big one. I really don't. But I could be wrong. I'm not a mathematician and I'm not a scientist. I don't know the answer to these questions. But I can tell you that there's a few things that are missing if we did have them, such as the agency that maintains them. By the way, have you seen the nuclear football lately? You hear people talking about it. Have you ever seen one? What transmits the codes in a nuclear football? Is it like Morse code? Did they upgrade it? Is it an iPhone? Thank you. What's going on there? There are some things missing, Look at the budget. Everything is listed, even the black site stuff, which they don't tell you what that is, but think about the numbers and think about what you see black site type people doing. Does it look like they have them? I don't think it does. I don't think the evidence bears out the existence of those things in every country. Not even this one. Amy says, LOL, Jake has dozens of pussies in his yard. Yeah, I can't walk for stepping on pussy. I got pussy laying everywhere. I'm regular pussy hound. Meow. John Packman says, there's a lot of backdoor signings going on over there right now. I bet there's some deal making too. And I bet Trump knows how to play that game. And I bet that all this is going to work out to some kind of big deal that Trump has done. Because remember 4 years ago, remember the last administration when he was over there dancing in Iran with swords out and they were all just having a good time? Those are the same people that we're fighting against now. It seemed like the behavior. Remember before we started all this, they were rolling out the red carpet and they didn't even go. Biden got a fist bump when one guy showed up. They rolled out the red carpet when Trump showed up and all of the dignitaries came and it was a big event. They had like trumpet players and everything, camels, and it was pandemonium. The little belly dancers everywhere. It was crazy. They had like a oil poured out so in it. They could just walk right on top of the oil and roll around in it. It was fantastic. Anyway, it seems to me that there's a big game being played and that all the details are not being shared with the public. I could be wrong, but I'm thinking that you might be being snowed right now. Amanda says, OMG, yes, Amy. Smiley face. Lots of pussies. John Packard says, typo, shenanigans. I got you. Lots of backdoor shenanigans. John H. says, the last time I went on a date was before they invented the car, LOL. Wow. I don't know that I've ever been on a date per se. I probably have, but not anything that was memorable. I usually just go from hello to moving in. Just kind of seems to work that way for me. The last wife I had, I met at Denny's. And I proposed at Denny's, and then we got married and went to Denny's. Very short succession. John Packman says, women love blue-collar men. Yes, because we work hard and we believe in something. We believe in God first and the future next. We protect our families and we're armed to the teeth and we don't take no shit. That's why women love blue-collar men. Amy says, Jake Johnson, instrumental band. If I could play all the instruments and get away with it, I would, but I can only do one at a time, so. Amy says, the new TikTok trend is to buy with pennies at the register. It stresses out the cashier and people make money from irritating others. And most of the cashiers are elderly. Not nice at all to do that. I agree. Yeah, why is that funny to go up to a cash register and pay in pennies? Don't they have a coin star at the local food line? They can just go cash all them pennies in and get $1 and then go spend $1. Seems like they're just annoying people, and I don't like those trends. You seen those ones where a stranger will walk up and touch somebody on the face or whatever, or do something like that, really inappropriate? That's not a good trend. That's going to get somebody killed one day. Because from where I'm from, you don't do that. You don't walk up and touch somebody in the face. And it may be why I don't see a lot of it around here, because we don't play that game in North Carolina. That's a city thing. Aaron says, they ban you from the store for that, for paying in pennies? Yeah, I bet. Aaron says, also, they come and pour milk on the floor and slide in it. Yeah, the Walmart guys, yeah, throwing stuff all over the place and breaking things. My mama would have beat me with a frying pan if I ever acted like that in public. I don't understand how these kids are not getting in trouble for what they do. At the very least, they're ruining property that don't belong to them. Why won't somebody arrest these young people? John says, did you see they're getting rid of pennies now? Yep. Yeah, we were talking about that a little while ago. It actually costs more to make pennies than pennies are worth. So it costs more than a penny to print a penny, to stamp it. That's when it's time to go. Amy says, right, Aaron, there's a coin star, and they can use it and just childish behavior for views and likes. That's what I said. Linda says, that is so special for you to think of Amanda as your home. That truly is what home is, whether it's a big house or a cardboard box. Heart. True. And I do think of that. And more than that, she's actually the first person I ever fell in love with back 40 years ago. And me for her. And we came back together 40 years later. So there's a whole gap of history we didn't share, but on both ends, we were there. So it's like a bookend relationship, something or other. Yada, yada, diamond, whatever. Amy says, waste of milk, and the janitor has to clean it up. Right, they should make the kids go out there and clean that mess up. At the very least, if they're not going to arrest them, they should at least make them clean it up. Christine Marshall says, nope. That Iranian Islamic leader finally came out of his hole looking bad, but threatening the U.S. with retaliations on our cities with suitcase bombs. And Trump said, anything happens, they are gone. Right on. Yeah, if someone had the ability to obliterate my country, I would not be going on TV running my mouth. That seems like a bad play. Amanda says they'll play hell trying to get through our air radar systems. Right on. John Packman says, I'd like to think myself as a bigger man than that. I'd like to think of myself as a bigger man than that, but I'd slap one of those content creators if I see them. Me too. Rich says, I'm going to go have a V8, I guess. Why are you feeling like you're leaning that way? Have you not drank your V8 today? I'd love to have a V8. V8s are delicious. I even like the V8 Splash, the little juice, the berry juice that they make. That's fantastic. And tart. It's a very good drink. John Packman says, that spicy V8 is great. Yeah, I like that too. I just don't like it's in such a little can. I wish they'd make like a regular size 16 ounces or 24 ounces. That'd be better. Linda says, good night, Rich. Rich says, I got special edition Mike's Hot Honey. Delish. Mike's Hot Honey. V8? I'm going to have to check that out. I don't know what that tastes like. Amy says, I think Sue is busy with her historical stuff. I know she was locked to see the national anthem, too. She was locked to see the national... Oh, she was waiting to see the national anthem on something. Gotcha. Amy says, I'm eating a lemon mini cheesecake. I'm about to eat some cookies. Amy says, picked. She was picked. Oh, she's going to sing the national anthem. Sweet. That's fantastic. I've never done that job, oddly enough. Out of all my life of doing things, and I've been in some rodeos and other things too, never got to sing the national anthem. John says, I see we've doubled down on the ads. Nope, they're what they've always been. I don't have any control over them. I apologize if you're getting too many of them. Amanda says, it depends on the night, John. It's all YouTube. Right. Yeah, I'm not doing any of that. I just have the channel monetized, and they do whatever they're going to do. I don't touch it. Amy says, don't complain about the ads. It's revenue for Jake. A little bit, anyway. Yeah, it's not much. I think if everything is perfect and I get a lot of views during the month, I might make like $13 to $15 off the ads. Not always, though. This month, I didn't make anything. I didn't even get paid this month, so. Aaron says, lemon cheesecake. John says, I just hit skip anyways. Well, you know, you don't have to tell me that. That's like slapping me in the face, buddy. And Amanda says, I'm making Jake a spice cake with homemade cream cheese frosting tomorrow. Man, I'm so lucky. That's a good cake, too. Thank you. Amy says, I got it from Aldi's. Aldi's. That's that store that makes you buy grocery bags. Yeah, I don't shop there. Or you put a quarter in to get the shopping cart out. Come on now. Christine says, I love spice cake. It's been a while. It's my favorite cake. I don't even want to eat any other kind of cake. Spice cake with cream cheese frosting, that's it for me. I do like carrot cake and occasionally that velvet cake, the one that looks kind of waxy. You know what I'm talking about? And I like the upside down pound cake. That's pretty much it. Aaron says, I didn't know they had that. There, now you know. And Amanda says, Jake does too, like that spice cake. Linda says, Walter likes any lemon desserts. I'm not real crazy about lemon flavor. John Packman says, Raytheon, I think the name of the company is. Oh, see, that's the problem right there. Most people would think that Raytheon or Boeing or one of those things that Dick Cheney was attached to. Nope, that's not what they do. They are aircraft designers, and one of them does weapon stuff. Raytheon, I think, does weapon stuff, but they are not the company that is working in the United States to handle nuclear weapons. They don't do it. It's not in there. You can go look up their websites. You can go look up all the information on them. They're not the ones doing it. But you're right. Most people would make that choice. They'd think that immediately. Well, sure, Boeing is doing that sort of stuff, or Raytheon, or HARPA, or DARPA, whatever you call that thing. Nope, that's not what they do. The answer is, and I'll tell you, if there is a company that does it, we don't know about it. You don't see the trucks. You don't see the people. They don't have a logo or a company store. It's a private thing. If that happens, it's one of those things that's above our pay grade. That's the answer. But most people would think, yeah, it's, you can just go look. I mean, we invented it in Texas. Surely, New Mexico, where it was. Surely there's people that do this stuff. That's what I mean by everything is bullshit. Amy says, Walter's a sourpuss, Linda. He likes that lemon. And Linda says, LOL, Amy. And Amy says, Biden lost the football. He traded it for magic beans. That does not even sound surprising. Linda says, tomorrow is going to be hard seeing him at our son's party. Oh, I'm sorry. You show how strong you are. Don't let anybody see that it phases you. You go in there and you have a good time. Even if it kills you, you go have a good time. You don't let that be seen. Trust me on that. You can do just fine right by yourself. That's the idea I want coming off of you visually. Don't need nothing. Trust me. Amy says, Linda, you have to love your children more than you hate your ex. Right on. Amy says, hate isn't the right word, but you know what I mean. And Linda says, I don't hate him. That's the problem. Amy says, aw, hugs. And Amanda says, no, it won't, Linda. You keep your head up and smile, and a smile on your face, and it will be all right. Amen. If you can let it be known that you're having a good time and that everything's okay, I promise you that'll dig in like a brain worm. It will not be pleasant. Amy says, met at Denny's. Was it a grand slam? At the time, it was a home run. Turned out to be a foul ball, but enough with the sports metaphors. John Packard says, at Denny's, that's a Jerry Springer type scenario right there. It was. It was, in more ways than one. But that's how I roll, you. My whole life is a Jerry Springer type scenario right there. I was Tiger Kinging before the Tiger King knew what Tiger Kinging was, if you know what I'm saying. Amanda says, LOL, Amy and John. And Amy says, R.I.P. Jerry Springer. I know, right? John says, it would have worked if it had been a Waffle House. Maybe. Been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. Amy says, driving home, driving while listening. Well, be careful. Amanda says, drive safe, Amy. Amy says, 10:57, clocked out. It's rounds to 11. Amy says, OMG, there's a skunk by my car. Whoa. Why don't you confuse it and run up and pee on it? It won't know what to do. That's my job. John says, keep driving. Amanda says, oh no, Amy. And Aaron says, my dog stole a tequila bottle and he licked it and now he is drunk and keeps trying to get it. That's terrible. Getting your dog drunk. Amy says, I'm not in my car. Rattling my keys and he's moving away. Amanda says, OMG, Aaron, give him a lime too, right? Well, don't let him drink the tequila without experiencing the salt and lime. Let him eat the worm and he'll be tripping balls for the next 2 hours. Aaron says, and salt. Right on. Amanda says, yup. Christine says, yeah, I want some cake. Me too. John says, get out of there, Amy. Don't let him spray you. Talk about V8 juice. You're going to need some. Lots of it. Amanda says, and Jake has a surprise coming after the stream. He just doesn't know it yet. I do now. Or what it is. I don't. But I'm guessing it's going to be fun. Aaron says, he slept all day. Not me. Not today. I worked all day. Are you talking about the dog slept all day? You mean he got drunk last night, or is he drunk now? Aaron says, LOL. Now he's going to be passed out all night. A lush dog. Poor dog. Take that dog to Waffle House and get him an egg sandwich or something. Soak up some of that alcohol. And let him get in a fight with his girlfriend and throw a chair across the room or something. That's how you live. All right, that's the bottom of the chat, and my eyes are going cross-eyed and telling me it's time to go to bed. So have a great night. We'll see you at 8:30 tomorrow night right here on Untethered Live for some politics, where we'll talk about all the good stuff going on in the world and what Trump is doing to piss everybody off today. All right. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here, Linda. Sweet dreams. Amy, sweet dreams. Everybody else here, sweet dreams. God bless and have a good night. John, thanks for being here. Come see us tomorrow night. Aaron, take care of that dog. Don't get arrested. Christine, tell your wife we said hello. Debbie, you just got here just in time to watch me leave. I didn't even know you was here. How are you, sweet lady? She says, good night, everybody. Well, I can't leave now. You just showed up. I'm not just going to walk out as soon as you come in. This show's yours, too. What you want to talk about? I got a little coffee left. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Debbie says, I've been here just listening to the chat. Well, you can participate. John says, till then, you come see us, buddy. It's going to be fun. It usually runs long on Saturday night, though. It goes into the midnight territory pretty frequently. It's worth it, though, because it's a good time. Debbie says, so you can go to bed, LOL, or get laid, or have your surprise. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not that, but it might be. You never know. The surprise is going to be on her because I'm going to be asleep in about 20 minutes. Her response is, you ain't got to be awake. I agree. And Amanda says, or all of the above. Could be that too. John says, politics tomorrow. Yes, sir. Every Saturday night right here on Untethered Live. Politics, where we go crazy and talk about chaos. Yep. Don't give it to me. I'll take it from you. All right, boys and girls. Debbie, thank you for being here, sweetie. I hope you enjoyed the show. And I hope to see you tomorrow night. Let us know when you show up so I can talk to you. Have a great night, everybody. God bless and good night. Thanks for watching.